Welcome to Varsity Voices Boys Soccer. My name is Jeff DiVeronica from the Democrat and Chronicle, and our in-studio guest this week from Fairport Soccer, Coach Gianni Bussani and senior midfielder Pete Critchlow. Guys, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Sectionals are starting this week. Seeds are out, and the Red Raiders, the top seed in Class AA, runner-up a year ago. Coach, going into sectionals, are you healthy? I know you had one big injury. We'll talk about that in a second, but the rest of the roster relatively in good shape.
Yes, we had a nice weekend off. We worked hard yesterday. Everyone looked good. Outside of our one big injury, we are completely 100% right now.
That is Nick Turturro, your senior goalkeeper, got injured recently, the big Hilton game.
Yeah.
I know he's out for the season. Who are the guys, or who is the guy that is going to be stepping in?
Well, so after Nick got injured at the Hilton game, we looked at both John Flannery, junior backup goalie, Jake Horst, a senior backup goalie. And we've kind of split them in our last two games. We had Gates and Arondecoy. And we looked at them a little bit in training yesterday. We're going to look at them a little bit more today, and I think today we're going to make a decision.
You guys have a lot of seniors. This is not unlike a lot of Fairport teams. You were runner-up a year ago. How motivating has it been for this group of seniors, knowing that Fairport won 2 titles and then lost last year? You want to be back on top, but how much did this group carry that in the offseason with them?
Throughout the offseason, we were always just thinking about how we can get better and be ready for next season, just hopefully win it this year. But
tight knit group of guys?
Yeah, definitely. With 13 seniors, we're really tight, and we're all like good friends. So
always helps, right?
Yeah.
You got Churchill Chiley or Penfield on Friday at your place. I think it's 6:30 kickoff.
Yep.
You know, Hilton has shown the ability to beat teams. Victor certainly has too. I mean, I see it as my opinion, not theirs. These are the 3 teams that could win this. What challenges, Coach, do those teams present to you? What are their strengths, Hilton and Victor in particular?
Well, I think they're both very talented teams, right? Both very, very well coached. They're both very well organized. They each have some kind of impact players. You got DeFeo and Simone at Hilton. You got Nelson and Clifton at Victor. They're both teams have size, and you know, they both play good brand of soccer. So
McQuaid's in here too, right?
Yeah,
not forgetting about you, Knights.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I saw McQuaid play against World of Inquiry about a week ago, and they've got some talented players with Duffy Margiato, the Rooney kid, LaFountain, I believe is his name, number 6. They've got a good goalie in Tommy Galena. So, and again, they're very well coached by Nino Pilato. So, they're a nice team.
Okay, Pete, this group of players, you have high expectations, right? 10 returning starters, runner-up in sectionals, last go-round, second game of the year, you lose 3-2 to Rush Henrietta. I know what his reaction was like, because I know him for a while now. What was the group, your guys, how did you guys react to that? I mean, give me the next 48 hours. What was that like for you guys?
I think it was like a major turning point in our season. I mean, it was early, but it showed us that we aren't as good as we think we are, and that we have to prove it every game, every minute, no matter what. And
that's what you saw, Coach?
Yeah. I thought we lost our cool a little bit. Some guys lost their composure, and so we had some serious discussions. And you know, you got to give Henrietta credit though. They never stopped playing, and they pushed and pushed, and you know, they deserved to win, and we deserved to lose that game.
Let's look at some key numbers for the Red Raiders. 14-1-1 on the season, 8-1-1 in Monroe County Division I. You know, you 49 goals for, 13 against, 9 shutouts. Pete, you lead the team with 16 goals and 6 assists. Matt Gaspar with 8 and 5. Nick Guida 5 and 10. 10 assists. Coach, that's a lot of assists. Nick must be playing great.
He's been a nice, real pleasant surprise. And he actually started turning his game up in the sectionals last year. He scored the tying goal in the semifinal against Victor, right? And then Pete buried a penalty shot in the semifinal. So he's been a big part of our team since about halfway through last season into sectionals, and this year he's just playing great soccer.
This guy here was a little guy 3 years ago, right? I remember his freshman year, you guys went all the way to the state final. Your brother, Hunter, was the AGR Player of the Year. It's fantastic. Think about your role then and now. How have you kind of evolved, and what do you see your role now for this group? And have you always been in the midfield?
Yeah, I've always been in the midfield, and back then I was a guy who just wanted to push everyone in practice, make sure everyone got better so we could go make the run that we wanted to make. And throughout the years, I've become more of a leader, I feel like, and try to step up and do the things that I learned from my brother, like leading the team, stepping up in big moments and stuff like that.
He's big, though. He was a big guy, right? How big were you then? Or how small were you then?
I was probably like 5'4", 5'5" back then.
Okay, I remember looking at him, and he's small.
Yeah.
How big are you? Like 5'8", 5'9" now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, he's kind of matured into it. Coach, tell me about some of the strengths of this guy to my right.
Well, number one, we've seen an incredible amount of growth in Pete just this season, right? Growth as not a soccer player, but as in his character, his leadership ability. And that turning point was a turning point for a lot of players, and Pete included, right? Since then, he's shown some outstanding leadership on and off the field, and that's translated into a more cohesive unit. These 13 seniors, like Pete mentioned, they get along well, they like each other. That doesn't happen by accident, right? There's intent to it, and you got to look at our senior captains and our one junior captain as well.
Who are the senior captains?
So you got Pete Critchlow, Matt Gaspar, Jordan Bobo, and our junior captain is Chris Barker.
Who are some of the guys that don't get their names in the paper a lot after scoring the goal? Some of the unsung heroes of this group, Coach.
Well, so you've got a guy like Diego Zavala has done a great job. He's turned up his game the last 8 to 9 games. He's just done fantastic. Doesn't always show up on the scoreboard, right? In assists and goals. But then we got a sophomore center back who's just grown leaps and bounds and become an outstanding center back, and Brandon Manns. Bobby Guilfoyle on left back, who wanted to be a left midfielder and then kind of understood that for the team we needed him at left back. Jordan Bobo, like I said, another captain center back. He's done outstanding, but we bring guys off the bench who I think could get a whole lot of playing time on other teams and other schools. You got Billy Mueller, Connor Leverett, Colin Kuchera. These guys just wait and wait and wait and are dying to get on the field and then come on and give us incredible minutes.
He's a good talker, right? We know that. He's also pretty direct in the way he evaluates you as a player. How does that sit with you? Some kids don't want, direct, honest feedback. How does it sit with you, Pete?
For me, I enjoy it because I know what I can fix, and I know that when I make a mistake, I know what it is. For most of the guys on the team, I feel like it helps them too, because a lot of the guys want feedback, where most kids I feel like don't. But we're so tight and know that we're gonna make mistakes, but we can learn from them and get better from them.
Coach, 22 years at Fairport, 8 Section 5 titles. We're competitors. We play to win.
Yep.
What's the most rewarding thing you still get out of coaching high school soccer?
Seeing growth in the quality of character of my players. That's number one. And like you said, I want to win. I want to win every game. I'm not happy when we don't win. We've played, I believe, in 14 sectional finals, and we've won 8. And that's great.
So 6 times you weren't happy.
6 times I was not very happy. Exactly. We've played in the last, I think it's 4 sectional finals, and so we've been 2-2 out of the last 4 years. So I remember the wins, but I also remember the losses. But the most important, the biggest excitement I get and satisfaction from coaching is taking a team from point A to point B and showing growth in style of play, quality of play. And if all that translates into wins, that's great. But to be honest, at this point in my career, there's a state title that certainly everyone that coaches wants to get, right? But how realistic is that? There's only going to be one team that doesn't lose their last game. And so you look for success in multiple ways, not just wins and losses.
Well, Pete, thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Good luck to you and the Red Raiders. Coach, thanks for coming on set. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Fairport boys soccer, #1 seed in Class AA, and 3 years ago they came really close to a state championship. If they can get out of Section 5, I think you can see them back in the final weekend of the season again. Thanks for watching us here at DemocratandChronicle.com on Varsity Voices. boys soccer.